Here we go. Hello, everyone. Welcome to, this is our week 3 of our Mastering the Basics program. And we have an awesome class planned for you today. It's going to be very interactive, a lot of really big learning. There are some scripts that we posted on the Facebook page. And if you've not downloaded them yet, I recommend going in and grabbing them because you're going to need them as a reference. And so make sure and do that. And I'm excited to be here today with Dr. Josie and, of course, Haley. We have a lot of great things in teaching, and we're really going to focus on classes today and some key transitions and some key scripts for classes that you can essentially bring in to any class that you're doing using any tear sheet. But we find that there are certain areas in classes that people can get a little hung up or uncomfortable. So we want to teach you some of those transitions. And as you learn them, then you can, of course, teach these to your builders for more effective classes. But one thing that I want to talk about for just a moment before we get started is I want to read a quote to you by Steven Pressfield from The War of Art. Some of you might have heard this before. It's something that I have referred to in the past. It was something that was brought to my attention when I was doing my coaching with Tiffany Peterson. And it's something that I always refer back to, and I think is always a really great reminder. So I'm going to read it to you, and I will post it on our Facebook page later in the case that you don't get it all written down, in the case you're hearing it for the first time. But I want you just to take a moment and think about it for a moment. And then I want to just get a little bit of feedback of what this means to you. So this is the quote. "The amateur believes he must first overcome his fear, then he can do his work. The professional knows that fear can never be overcome. He knows that there is no such thing as a fearless warrior or a dread-free artist." So I just want to see if anybody has any, we won't spend a lot of time on this, but if anybody has just any initial thoughts they want to throw out of what that brings up for you. Any volunteers? Just go ahead and unmute yourself and hop on.
First thing that comes to mind is, there's no excuses then.
Right on. Anybody else?
Hey guys, it's Ariana. I got a bad head cold, so I'm going to leave my video off. But I just wanted to share that I've really found this to be true, and I've really watched myself and people on my team freeze up, right, from fear and thinking if I study more or if I get more training, then I can jump in. And so I've watched through the progression of this business. Again, it's how it comes up, and then just knowing it will always come up, it will never stop no matter what rank. And it's just our grace and our choice to be uncomfortable sometimes and continue to go. So that pearl of wisdom has been a real game changer for me in my business. So I love this quote. I want to post it on my mirror or on my dresser just to remind me every day. Thank you for that one. That's a good one.
Absolutely. My big realization is kind of to mirror what Ariana said is that so much in my life, I realized that fear would keep me from actually taking action. And I always thought that I had to work through the anxiety before I would take action. When actually what I came to understand is that fear was the indication that was the action I needed to take. And that on the other side of that action was my learning and my growth. So we are all in a business and network marketing. And I know that you've all heard us say that doTERRA is a personal growth opportunity wrapped up in a multi-level marketing business. And there's so much truth in that, because for all of us to get from point A to point B, to get to silver, platinum, diamond, presidential diamond, whatever it is that your goal is, there's going to be things that are going to make you uncomfortable along the path. And you'll probably find that there's parts of this class that are going to make you uncomfortable. So what we want to invite you to do is first of all, let you know that it's totally normal and that we all go through it and that it's natural and it's part of the growing process. And to actually get excited when you get uncomfortable, because that's an indicator that you're actually on the verge of your growth and your expansion. But the other thing we want to invite you to do is not to hide out and disappear and not come to class or not show up or not do your homework because you're freaked out. And that's where you can reach out and ask for support if you want to reach out to your upline support, or if you have an accountability partner, or, email one of us or text one of us. We're all here in this together, and we are all hopefully continuing to get uncomfortable together. And that I promise you, in my journey of doTERRA, I have literally fallen down all the way in my journey to getting to Blue Diamond. I have fallen down so many times and made so many mistakes, but I get myself up, I dust myself off, and I keep moving forward, and I just try my best to do it better next time. So we just like to address this because it comes up, and I've already heard just, a little bit here and there where some people were shy to show up, or didn't take action in their homework, or various ways that they held themselves back because the fear became present. So raise your hand if you know what I'm talking about, and if you're committed to facing your fears and getting uncomfortable and also really getting support and moving forward. So awesome. Thank you. And I will post that quote on our page. And then next, I want to go over our homework. So I know that many of you were at convention, and wow, incredible, right? Loved convention. I know that I'm still just getting myself back home and getting myself settled. So hopefully you had time to get your homework done. And I'm just going to review what that was. It was to complete 2 one-on-ones or practice your one-on-ones and post the date that they are completed. Watch the effective inviting webinar, which is Elise Sudavi's tips on how to raise your class attendance up to 80%, and they really work, and it's a really great thing to know about and teach your team, especially if you're having parties, because there's nothing that's a bigger bummer to think 10 people are coming and then one person shows up. So this can really help raise your attendance. So if you haven't watched that yet, it's like a 15-minute webinar with some exact scripts and timing on how to effectively invite. Make sure and watch that. And invite at least 5 people to a class and post the date of your class. So hopefully you all have a class on the calendar and you've reached out and inviting people. And then it was optional to watch the effective sampling video. And then we asked you all to comment on the thread when that is complete. And we do check on that. And we do ask that if you're in this program and to keep moving forward this program, that you do get your homework done. So we'd like everybody to be accountable so we can all move and grow together. So I'm going to pass the mic over to Miss Haley, and or if Josie has anything she wants to add before we get going. And we're going to just jump right into today's content.
Hey, thank you, Aish. I know that everybody is super high off of convention, so we understand those feelings. And I really do want to reiterate that this is a really safe place to get uncomfortable. I know it's a large group and there's a lot of people, so sometimes you don't really have the intimate connection as you do in a smaller group. But if you can get comfortable being uncomfortable, every single time you're in front of a class or a group, it's just going to feel like the next thing that you're doing. And it's fun. And it actually becomes this really fun thing to be uncomfortable. So I would encourage you to fall on your face here, because we're here to help you pick up the pieces off the ground. And then when it happens in a class, you're like, I've already been there. It's fine. So it's really important that you are safe getting uncomfortable. So basically today, you guys, I'm going to teach you how to teach the raddest class of your life ever. It's so awesome. So I'm going to give you everything that you need. I'm basically going to walk you through the format of an entire class, and I'm going to give you all of the scripting. So raise your hand if you all printed and have ready all of the scripts that I posted the other day. Who has them? Okay, if you didn't get them, I would encourage you to get them. either now or if you can pull them up on your computer or something like that, get them ready because they're big, long ones. So I want you to have them with you. There should be 3 of them. So I also today have posted the agenda for you. So you can go back and get that later. You don't have to print that now. But it's basically the whole agenda of what a class format should look like in bullet points. And you can fill in your scripts where it's appropriate. So how many of you, raise your hand if you've taught a class and you didn't enroll anyone? Yeah? Okay. How many of you share the business opportunity at every single class? It's crickets. Probably because you're all muted, but I saw no hands. So we should be sharing the business opportunity at every single class. And most of the time, I'm going to guess, and I hope I'm right in this assumption, what we usually say in a class is, and there's this great business opportunity, so just tell me if you're interested, and it kind of fizzles out, and we don't really give them any tangible thing to do with that. It's just this casual sentence we just throw in at the end. And we really are not doing anybody a favor for not showing them how they can also change lives just like we are. So we really want to be presenting the business opportunity at every single class. And I'm going to give you a really great way on how to do it. So I'm going to walk you through really fast how your class is structured. So we have about 2.5 hours left, and I'm thinking I could probably help you guys get through it in about 2 hours. So I want you to have it, though, perfectly structured for your class. So when you show up to a class, and you're either teaching it or you're the one hosting and you've invited people to come, there's kind of a lull before everybody is sat down, ready to go, or however you format your classes, right? There's like 10, 15 minutes tops before you're in front of them teaching. And so what happens in that 10-minute time frame? It's usually mingling, am I right? Or people are chatting, or they're just kind of getting there and they're grabbing food if food was offered. All of those things are happening. And so what I want to encourage you to do in that time frame is give everybody the class sheet. Whatever sheet you're using, hand it out. Whether it's an edge tear sheet, whether it's an animals class, whether it's a share success sheet, whatever class sheet you're teaching off of, hand it out here. Because this gets people looking at the class material. They're a little bit excited about it. And what you're going to ask them to do is write down their 3 top health concerns or health goals on that sheet. So I think it's on the 3rd page of the Share Success booklet. It's on the back side of the Edge Tear sheet. First thing you do, hand that out and say, okay, so we're going to get started in a few minutes, but while we're waiting, I'd like to have you write down your top 3 health goals. These could be one-word things, whatever it is, just write them right here in this spot. That gets people's brain thinking about already what they want to learn in the class, and they start talking to each other about it. So that might be, what did you write down? Oh yeah, that's a good one. I have that problem too. So just tell them to write that down. That fills in your 10 to 15 minute gap with engagement already for the class. So they're prepped. They're not talking about the weekend. They're not talking about this or that. So then 10 minutes goes by, however that goes. You can actually too, if you're having this hosted, if this is a hosted class, have your host do this. They can pass out the class sheet to all of the people they've invited, and have them have their people write those 3 health goals on the back side or wherever that fits on the sheet. Top 3 health goals. Okay. So now when you get in front of the class, this is where you're going to say, you guys ready? Are you guys ready for this? Okay. So you're going to throw this out at everybody. So I just had all of you write down 3 health goals on that sheet of paper. Hope everybody did it. You got 10 seconds to do it. Get on it. Go. Okay. Everybody wrote down 3 health goals on that sheet. Now I want you to put a little line out to the side. And I want you to write this. If essential oils could help you with that health goal, how would your life be different? And that's before you even jump into the class. So they're now thinking, already, I'm here to learn about how my life is going to be different if I'm helped with this health goal or concern. You guys got that? Okay. Now put one bullet point right before that because I totally jumped ahead in my brain. The first thing you do when you get up there, obviously, is introduce yourself. So back up for 2 seconds. I was like, oh yeah, we didn't say that yet. I just assumed you're all perfect and do that anyways. So when you get up there in front of the class, so you've had them write their health goals on the back side of that sheet or wherever it fits, you get in front of the class and you say, welcome everyone. You do your 2-minute hero story, right? Okay, you're going to jump in and say, I'm Haley and I started using doTERRA and however that looks, right? I'm in this amazing place. I feel super empowered in my health and wellness. I used to be here. Now I'm here and I'm super excited, right? You've shared that. Okay. So now you're going to say, so I had all of you write down on the back side of that sheet those 3 health goals, and I want you to put a little line out to the side, and you're going to write down, if essential oils could help with that, how would your life be different? I'm going to give you 1 minute to do that. If people aren't writing, you can call them out. Who's not writing? Do you not have a pen? Is your pen broken? What's happening? Get them engaged. Okay, give them a minute to do that. Once they do that, you can tell them to disclaimer at this part. I'm not going to make you share this piece. You don't have to share that. This is for you. And the purpose for that is some people don't want to write down truthfully how their life could be different because it might be really personal to them. So we don't want to make them feel we're going to share this super personal thing in their life with a bunch of people that they maybe potentially don't know. So you can say, I want you to write this down. This is just for you. I'm not going to call you out. But what you're doing as they're writing this is you're making it real for them. They're now not just headache, digestion, fatigue. They might be writing next to fatigue. How would my life be different? I can now spend more time with my kids. Or I can now go out and do all of these things that I've been wanting to do forever, but I haven't had the energy to do it. So they're now making it real in their life that it's a big deal and they want to have a solution for that. So now you've had them write that down. Okay, and now you're going to tell them the intention of the class. So you can write that next. So I'm going to be walking you through this amazing class information sheet. This is for you to write on, take notes, draw all over it. I encourage you to do that because you're going to forget half the stuff I say. So I want you to remember it. So my intention for this class is to show you 3 things. I'm going to show you what essential oils are. I'm going to show you how you use them. And I'm absolutely going to help you get them if you're interested in incorporating them into your life. So that's your intention of the class. Does anybody need me to repeat that?
Yes,
Say that again.
Can you repeat that again for everyone?
Yes. Yeah. Okay, so you've said your introduction. You've now asked them if essential oils could help with that. How would your life be different, right? Now you're going to say what your intention is. So you're not going to have to share any of that stuff you just wrote down. So I'm going to tell you, I'm going to walk you through this amazing, cool class. You have this sheet. You can write on it. You can take notes. You can do whatever you want with it. So my intention today is to teach you what essential oils are, how you use them, and then how you get them. Because I absolutely want you to be able to incorporate them into your life if you're interested in doing that. So you have 3 things that you're doing, right? And that's how every class sheet is formatted. What they are, how you use them, how you get them. Always in that order. It doesn't matter which piece you put into the skeleton. That's exactly what it's formatted for. So that will always be your intention, those 3 things. So now people are excited. They just wrote down their stuff, right? Make sure you have a pen every time up there with you when you're teaching your class. So I'm guessing what you normally do when you go around, raise your hand if I'm right, is when you see an essential oil on your sheet, like peppermint or lavender or melaleuca or whatever, you read the bullet points that are listed underneath it, and then you pass it around. Do you guys do that? Do you read what the oils are about? Like peppermint's great for energy or fatigue or whatever's listed on your sheet. Do you guys do that? Yeah, some yeses. Okay, so we're going to move a little bit away from that. So when you see peppermint on your thing, we're going to be now relating health goals back to them. So the next question, you're going to shout out to them. You just said your intention. You're going to say this. Okay, you guys just wrote down your health goals on the back of that sheet. Shout some of them out to me. Go. Just shout them out one at a time. I just need a few. Shout them out. Shout them out. Let people shout a few things out. Energy, digestion, sleep, fatigue, a cleanse. I want to lose 20 pounds. Whatever they're shouting out, just write them down. And this is exactly what we're doing in basically a one-on-one. And I want to know, Sheila, I'm going to call on you for a second. If you can unmute yourself. Yep. What is the purpose of us asking them to shout out their health goals right now?
What is the purpose? The purpose is to have, I'm sorry, I don't have the best words for it right now, to help engage them and help engage them in what they need, and that we have solutions for them.
Absolutely. Those words were perfect. So that's exactly what we're doing in a one-on-one, right? We're offering solutions. So I'm going to be doing that in a class at the same way. So the reason we're steering away from just reading bullet points from the sheet is, let's say I start reading peppermint. It's great for fever, and it's great for reducing body temperature, and it's great for cooling the body. It's great for digestive support. Imagine there's somebody sitting in your class who has none of those things. Not one thing they experience. They might need peppermint for a completely different reason. So they're thinking, well, I don't need to get peppermint because I don't have any of that stuff. So we really want to relate everything back, because if we're just doing that, there's somebody thinking, I don't need it for that, or I don't have that. So you're going to be just writing down those things. And what you're doing the whole time, you can throw in some bullet points of what you're doing. Let's say I get to peppermint and somebody shouted out energy was one of their things. I might say, okay, peppermint. I'm going to pass this around. You can take a little bit in your hands. You can breathe it. You can put it on your thumb and stick it to the roof of your mouth if you're super bold. Don't put your fingers in your eyeballs, please. It's going to happen. Somebody's going to do it. But try not to do it. So we always go over our safety stuff, right? But then I might say, one of you shouted out energy was one of your health goals you were trying to target. Peppermint is your oil. This is the one that's really going to help you combat that low fatigue, low energy, all of that stuff. So we want to make sure that we're making a connection with all of these people. It's also great for cooling the body temperature and for some other things, whatever you want to say. So we want to make sure that we're making a connection. If there's nobody who has shouted out something that relates to that oil, just suggest something. Let's say you get to lavender and nobody said sleep or anything that could possibly relate to lavender. I might say, okay, we're at lavender. Nobody said sleep. Does everybody sleep perfectly amazing? Everyone sleeps the best in this room. Is that a true thing? Is that a thing? Like, get them to engage, right? People are probably going to say, is anybody totally not stressed? Everything is perfect. You never feel stress. Not one day of your life. No stress. Zero. Because some people are going to obviously agree with you. It's a common thing that people struggle with. Then you can say, lavender. I knew this isn't a perfect room. I knew that all of you couldn't be perfectly not stressed. So I have some lavender for you. It's coming. So just get them engaged. Ask them questions. If Digest Zen is on your sheet for any reason, you can say that. Does anybody ever eat something and you just feel kind of funky afterwards? That's a total possibility. I don't think I would say something very specific, like who's got gas right now? Like, you could leave that part out. But you want to make sure that you're engaging your crowd and getting them involved. So then we go through your class sheet. So you're going to do that exactly how you've always done that. Just follow your class sheet. And this is great because it's kind of like something you can lean on. Most of the time you're comfortable in a one-on-one. Some people have the opposite, but most of the time it's easier with one person. You get a little bit of your nerves come out when you're in front of a bigger group. So you have your sheet to lean on, and you're also showing that people in the class that all you need to do is read off of the sheet and engage people. And so you have this sheet that you can use. So it's kind of just your guideline. I don't want you just holding it and reading it. So now you're going around, and I want you to keep track of time while you're doing this, because we want to be finished with your class sheet at 40 minutes. Always at 40 minutes. So if you're not at the end of your sheet in 40 minutes, or you're halfway through and it's already 35 minutes, this is what I want you guys to do. Skip oils. You want to at least touch on 3 in your class, 3 minimum. But if there's 5 on there or 6 on there and you've only gotten to 4, skip them. Tell them, I know you guys see On Guard on here. It's a really great oil I can tell you about individually. We're going to go to the next one. Go to the next one, because they need to be engaged and still focused when you get to your close. Because if it goes an hour and a half by the time you get to your close, they just want it to be over and they're ready to leave and they don't care about buying anything. It was valuable information, but that's the point where they need to get oils. So 40 minutes. And you might say, I really value your time. You could say this in the beginning. I really value each and every one of your time. So I'm trying to keep this around 45 minutes. So if I start getting close to that, somebody keep me on track. And so that helps everybody keep everybody accountable, because you do value your time. I've been to classes where I was told it's 45 minutes and it was 2 hours. And I'm like, wait a second, I did not time block 2 hours of my life. So by the time I get to an hour, I'm thinking, wait, it's 15 minutes over. Okay, no, it's 20 minutes over. When is it going to end? And then I don't even have time to do anything at the end because I'm trying to rush out of there. So you want to make sure that you value every single person's time. Okay, so if you have somebody who steals the show and they're talking and somebody have a question? Oh,
yeah,
Jess,
yeah, I think Karen Evans in the chat had a good question right where you are. So she's confused about what you just said. She said, do you go through all the oils first and then go through the sheet, or at the same time?
Same time.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So you're going through your sheet, and as you get to each oil, you're relating it back to somebody in the audience who has talked about a health concern.
Yeah, it's like you're integrating the relating in the sheet. So like we're sort of saying, move away from just rigidly just reading the sheet, but having a little bit of a guideline with the sheet and using that sense of relating to people and their personal health goals as as teaching points through the oils.
Yes, we want to keep it very interactive. We want it to be solutions for your audience. Great question, Karen. Sorry, that was a little bit unclear on my part. So you want to make sure you touch on 3 oils minimum, like I said. And as you go through your class, so you just keep going through your class. You're going to go through your ways to use, keep going through your class, and you're going to share health goals that are relating to people or ask a question about it. And then once you get down to the very bottom, most of them end on either the supplements or they end on another thing. Once you finish all of the sheet that you're going to go through, I also want to tell you this, there's a couple of little side note. There are some tear sheets or class sheets or booklets that you use that don't have oils from the top 10. They have a bunch of other random ones like maybe Purify, or they have some other things. I wouldn't focus on those. Focus on the top 10. So you can say that at that same point. There's a few oils you're going to see on here. I'm just going to skip over those. You can look at those on your own. And then, because we really want to keep their focus on the top 10, if that makes sense. So it can be a little bit distracting when there's a lot of oils that are outside the top 10. Okay, so now, once you get to the very bottom, this is where, does everybody offer a incentive of a book or anything like that at the end of a class for an enrollment? Yeah? Most people offer some kind of incentive. This is where you'll introduce that here, or introduce even the literature that you're using as a resource, even if you don't offer it as an incentive. So when you get down to the very bottom of your sheet, you're going to finish with, so I know I shared a lot of information with you guys. There were so many things to cover. You maybe won't remember it all, but this is how I remember everything. This is how I know most of the things that I know. This book, whichever book you use. This is it, whether it's the Modern Essentials book, whether it's the Essential Life book, this is the book. This is how I know most of the things that I know. Okay, so when you get through that, you're going to open it up and you're really going to get them engaged and excited about using this book. So if it's the Essential Life book, I open this book. This is how it's organized. So remember when we wrote down those 3 health goals on the back of that sheet? Maybe I didn't touch on all of those. This book is going to give you those answers. So you're going to get a chance at the end of this to look through this awesome thing and find those solutions. So I can't wait to come around and see what you find. And then same with Modern Essentials. So this book is organized. Amazing. It's got everything in alphabetical order. It's really beautifully organized so that you can look at all of your health goals and concerns in alphabetical order in the back of it. So walk them through it. So then they now know, you really want to spend time here, you guys, because we don't want to give them a book at the end to even look at if they don't know how to navigate it. Some of them are confusing. Some of them maybe aren't the easiest to navigate. And this is your stall time. So if you don't have enough wellness advocates to attendees in your class, people are going to be sitting there waiting and waiting and waiting. You have about 20 minutes before people are bored if you're not getting a connection with them at the very end. So you want to make sure that they know how to navigate this book. And that's going to be what they're perusing through at the end when you're going around helping them individually. So we want to make sure that they have it and they're not confused. And so people now are excited they get to look at it, but they don't get to look at it until the end. Gina,
Haley,
question. What is a good idea to give everyone? Yeah, please, go ahead.
So I know that there's some different opinions about the books. I personally love the Essentials of the Earth book. I find it the easiest one to actually navigate and look through. And then, of course, there's the Oil Life book and there's the Modern Essentials book. I've also found, and so people ask, which book should I use? Sometimes I find different personality types are more drawn to one book or another. So one option is you can have all 3 for people as a reference. But I'm finding the Essentials of the Earth book to be the quickest reference. Like it's an expanded A to Z guide, and it's from the people that did the everythingessential.me, and it has the most complete protocols. So if that's a book that you personally have not checked out, and it's also a really great price point, I recommend considering that one for classes as well.
Good point. Yes. So any resource material that you choose, this works for. So I want you to make sure, though, that you just focus on how to look through it. You don't want to just say this is an amazing book and you'll get to look at it at the end, because some of them aren't that greatly or simple. They're not that simple. They have beautiful information, but sometimes it's not that easy for everyone. And so you want to make sure that they're not just at the end like, I'm actually overwhelmed with the resource, so I don't want to get oils if I don't know how to use them. So if you're really clear about how to navigate that book, whichever one you choose to use, they're going to get excited about looking through it. And then, hey, Aish, could you mute that one phone or video? And then, so once you guys are standing in front, you now shared that. You don't have to remember every single thing that you just learned, but you have this amazing resource. So that's where you present that there. Okay, now here's where you're going to say, you guys, this is your big script. I want you to pull this out. Sharing the business opportunity, the 3 types of people. Oh, let me touch really quick. Sorry, guys, where I was talking about stealing the show. If you have somebody in your class who's a chatty Cathy and they keep jumping in, this is a really great redirect, because I know this happens. It happens to me. It happens to everyone. There's somebody who has either been to a class and they're super excited. They want to tell you everything, or they have a million questions. You want to never shut them down, always validate them, but you know your 40-minute time frame. So there's people who are going to try to steal in there all the time. You're going to say, oh my gosh, I love those questions. Those are amazing questions. You bring so much value. I'm going to have you save those to the end so that I can help you get those answers. I love that you're sharing. Let's save those for the end. Thank you so much for contributing. Oh my gosh, that's such a good question. I'm going to answer that at the end. Keep putting them at the end. Hold on to that question. Write it down so we remember, because I really want to touch on that. We're going to do that at the end. Okay, moving on. So you want to keep everybody on the same page, because somebody might keep doing that, but everybody else might not be wanting to do that. Does that make sense to you guys? Don't let somebody steal the whole thing, because you really will lose a lot of people that way. You want to show that you can rein your group in. Okay, you guys got that sheet out, or you got your document up on your screen? I need a volunteer to read that for me. Okay, Karen, I'm going to have you do it in 1 second. So this, you guys, here's your transition. You just finished your literature. I'm going to give you guys this at the very end. It's super exciting. So really quick, I'm going to walk you through 3 different types of people that typically come to one of my classes. So as I'm reading this, or as I'm telling you this, I want you to write either a 1, a 2, or a 3 at the top of your paper. So you guys can write that down. So real quick, I'm going to tell you guys about 3 types of people that usually come to my class. I want to see which one resonates the most with you. So as I'm going through this, I want you to write either a 1, a 2, or a 3 at the top of your paper for whichever one you feel the most connected to. And then you're going to go right into this script. You got the show, Karen, whenever you're ready.
Okay, the first type of person that comes to one of my classes are those of you who have been sitting here thinking, I want to use those oils in my life, my family's life, and I want to make over my wellness routine. I want to start living more naturally. If this is you, write a 1 at the top of your sheet. The second type of person that comes to a class are usually those of you who have been sitting here thinking, I wish my mom could have come. I wish my friend was here. You might even be thinking about the mailman or grocery store clerk you see every day. And you've been thinking about them because you naturally want to share what you've learned with them. Now, doTERRA rewards those of you that share with the people you love and care about. And if you share consistently, after a while, you will get rewarded enough to pay for the oils that you want on a monthly basis. Do you all know what we call that? That is basically free healthcare. So many people in doTERRA enjoy the benefits of having essentially free healthcare. If this is you, write a 2 at the top of your sheet. The third type of person that comes to a class are those of you who have been watching me this whole time and have been thinking, I want to do that. I want to teach and educate people about the power of essential oils and at the same time enjoy either supplemental or residual income. You can even start becoming financially free like I am becoming. So if this is you, go ahead and write a 3 at the top of your sheet. If you are either the second or third type of person, please come and find me after the class. I'd love to show you some of the ways you can get started.
That was great. Thank you for doing that and volunteering. So if you guys didn't catch this, what we just presented was a user, a sharer, and a builder without saying that. So we just presented the business opportunity, and your 2s and 3s are going to find you at the end of your class and say, I want to know more about that. What is that? So you now have a sharer or a builder that you're looking at talking to. So the reason we have them write it at the top of their sheet is at the end of a class, you go around and you individually support these people, getting their orders and putting together different things. If they forget to say, oh, hey, I wanted to talk to you, I usually will say, oh, I see that you wrote a 2 at the top of your sheet. Don't forget to come and find me at the end. So that way, it's a second reminder you see that. Or if for some reason they run out and then you do your follow-up appointment. So remember when we asked you to write a 1, 2, or 3? Do you remember which number you were? Which one resonated the most with you? So you now have a gauge of whether or not they're a customer, if there's somebody who is interested in sharing and hosting classes for you, or somebody who's interested in the business opportunity on a bigger level, like teaching and educating. So did you see how we just did that? Okay, Sheila, I'm going to have you read that exact same script again so we can all hear it.
I'm sorry, Sweets. I haven't found that page. I found every other page. I'm sorry.
No worries. Okay, who's a volunteer? Give me a volunteer.
Me.
Mika, go.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, everyone. I'm going to share with you the 3 types of people that typically come to one of my classes. I want you to listen to each one and think about the one you most identify with, and then you'll write either a 1, 2, or 3 at the top of your sheet. I'd probably say, okay, after that, but the first type of person that comes to a class are those of you who have been sitting here thinking, I want to use those oils in my life. my family's life, and I want to make over my wellness routine. I want to start living more naturally. The second type of person that comes to a class are usually those of you who've been sitting here thinking, I wish my mom could have come. I wish my friend was here. You might even be thinking about the mailman or grocery store clerk you see every day. You've been thinking about them because you naturally want to share what you've learned with them. Now, doTERRA rewards those of you that share with the people you love and care about. And if you share consistently, after a while, you get rewarded enough to pay for the oils that you want on a monthly basis. Do you all know what we call that? That is basically free healthcare. So many people in doTERRA enjoy the benefits of having essentially free healthcare. Now, the third type of person that comes to a class are those of you who have been watching me this whole time and have been thinking, I want to do that. I want to teach and educate people about the power of essential oils and at the same time enjoy either supplemental or residual income. You can even start becoming financially free like I'm becoming. So if you're either the second or third type of person, please come and find me after the class, and I'd love to show you some of the ways you get started. Is there more?
No, that was great. That was perfect. Thank you so much. Okay, I need one more volunteer. Melanie, it's on you, sister. I'm going to have you read the same thing.
All right. I love it. Okay. Okay, everyone. I'm going to share with you the 3 types of people that typically come to one of my classes. I want you to listen to each one and think about the one that you most identify with, and then you'll write either a 1, a 2, or a 3 at the top of your sheet of paper, okay? So the first type of person that comes to a class are those of you who have been sitting here thinking, I want to use these oils in my life. I want to use these in my family's life. I want to make over my wellness routine, and I want to start living more naturally. The second type of person that comes to a class are usually those of you who've been sitting here thinking, I wish my mom could have come. I wish my friend was here. You might even be thinking about the mailman or the grocery store clerk that you see every day, and you've been thinking about them because you naturally want to share what you've learned with them. Now, doTERRA rewards those of you that share with the people that you love and care about. And if you share consistently, after a while, you start to get rewarded enough to pay for the oils that you want on a monthly basis. And do you know what we call this? That's basically free healthcare. So cool. So many people in doTERRA enjoy the benefits of having essentially free healthcare. The third type of person that comes to a class are those of you who have been watching me this whole time and been thinking, I want to do that. I can totally do that. I want to teach and educate people about the power of essential oils and at the same time enjoy either supplemental or residual income. And you can even start becoming financially free like I'm becoming. So if you are either the second or the third type of person that I just talked about, please come and find me after the class, and I would love to show you some of the ways to get started.
That was awesome. So good. Okay, I'm going to have one more. Nicole, are you up for it? Yeah, okay, let's hear you.
Hi. Okay, everyone, I'm going to share with you the 3 types of people that typically come to one of my classes. I want you to listen to each one and think about the one that you most identify with, and then you'll write either a 1, 2, or 3 at the top of your sheet. So the first type of person that comes to a class are those of you that have been sitting here thinking, I want to use those oils in my life, my family's life, and I want to make over my wellness routine. I want to start living more naturally. And I like how she said, this sounds like you, then put a 1 at the top of your sheet. So the second type of person that comes to a class are usually those of you who have been sitting here thinking, I wish my mom could have come. I wish my friend was here. You might even be thinking about the mailman or grocery store clerk that you see every day, and you've been thinking about them because you naturally want to share what you've learned with them. Now, doTERRA rewards those of you that share with people you love and care about. And if you share consistently, After a while, you get rewarded enough to pay for the oils that you want on a monthly basis. Do you know what we call that? That is basically free healthcare. So many people in doTERRA enjoy the benefits of having essentially free healthcare. If this sounds like you, put a 2 at the top of your sheet. Okay, the third type of person that comes to a class are those of you who have been watching me this whole time and have been thinking, I want to do that. I want to teach and educate people about the power of essential oils and at the same time enjoy either supplemental or residual income. You can even start becoming financially free like I am becoming. This sounds like you, put a 3 at the top of your sheet. Now, all of my 2s and 3s out there, please come and find me after the class, and I would love to show you some of the ways that you can get started.
That was awesome. I love that you made it your own. Sounded great. Is there anybody in this group who feels like they can do it without the sheet? I'll give you one lifeline, but still, give it a shot. Who's brave? Yay, Lynn, let's hear it.
Okay. Brace yourself. So there are 3 types of people that usually come to my class. And I would like you to write at the top of your page if you identify with any one of these. The first one is someone who's just really excited to use the oils in their life. And they're super excited about getting a healthier life. The second is someone who is, oh, shoot, I wish my mom could have come, or I wish my sister were here. She would really like these. Or you're thinking about your mailman who today complained about an issue, and you're like, oh, my God, I know the oil for that. If you think you're one of those, then you would want to write a 2 at the top of your page. Now, doTERRA
right there. For 1 second, Lynn. Time. Okay, that's one thing I want you to always remember for the second part. You're doing amazing. Keep going. You want to make sure you say that doTERRA rewards you for sharing consistently, and always do free healthcare in that second one.
Okay. Yeah,
okay, so I'm going to let you start over with 2.
I flipped around the order of that one.
No, you're totally good. Continue.
So number 2, if you think you're number 2, then write it to the top of your page. Number 2 is someone who really wishes their mom could have been here to hear this because she thinks she would love the oils. Or you're thinking about your sister or your mailman who you just heard complain about an issue, and you're like, oh my God, I now know the oil for that. This is so exciting. Now, doTERRA rewards those who share with others their health benefits. And if you know, oh, no, okay, no, I'm stalling here out here.
You're okay. Look at your sheet one time. You get 1 peek. Here it is.
Okay. So you get rewarded if you share consistently, and you can supplement your income. No. Health. Never mind. I don't have it enough.
You got it. You got it.
What does this mean? It means free health care. So
I'm going to read you that one line, and you're going to start where I leave off. So doTERRA rewards those of you who share with people. And if you share consistently, after a while, that's enough for your oils to get paid for every month. Do you guys know what we call that?
Oh, do you
free healthcare.
Do you know exactly it? Okay.
So you're going to do that.
Can I say something, Haley?
Absolutely. Yeah.
I do a thing myself about trying to remember, like for memorizing or just remembering for scripts. And it'll be like, once you learn it, you know, this is a long script. So you know what your end game is, that you're talking about 1, 2, and 3 person. And then I have a few words that are the things that I'll get stuck on that I remember about each thing. So for me, for number 2, it's mom, sister, reward, consistently, healthcare. I mean, so even if you know the mom's sister, it's really, if you remember the 3 words, reward, consistently, because the consistently is sometimes where people get stuck, and then healthcare. If you just like remember those 3 words, reward, consistently, healthcare, that's your like transition crux for the number 2. And you just have little, this is kind of, can start to make us really memorize it.
Perfect. Thank you for that. You've got it, Lynn. You are doing amazing, and you just threw yourself out on the edge of the cliff, and you're building an airplane on the way down. So keep going.
Crash.
You got it.
Shall I keep going?
Yes.
Okay, so, and the third type of person who is someone who is sitting there watching me and going, I want to do that. I want to teach other people about these oils. And they are the ones that will become, blah, blah, blah. Let's see, educated as oils, enjoy. You can even start becoming financially free like I am. So if you are if you're either a 2 or a 3, please come see me after class and we can continue that conversation.
Beautiful. Okay, I'm going to have you do 2 and 3 one more time. And remember in number 2, right? It's your people who you've been wishing were here. Consistent sharing equals free healthcare. And then the thing you're focusing on the third is watching me and supplementing or getting a residual income. You're doing so good. So start at number 2.
Okay. So the second person, a type of person that comes to my class is someone who is thinking while I'm teaching the class, oh my gosh, I wish my mom was here. She would really love this. Or my sister or my mailman they mentioned that they were ailing in some way, and I now know the oil for that, and I would just love to share these with them. If you're that kind of person, then doTERRA rewards those that consistently share the oils, and this will help supplement your income.
I'm going to pause you. Supplementing income is the third type of person.
Whoops. Okay, consistently reward enough to pay for your oils.
Yep.
So do any of you know what they call that? Basically, that is free health care.
Yeah.
So do to enjoy the benefits. So basically, you enjoy essentially free health care. So and if you're the third type of person, you're someone who is watching me teaching the class and you're like, I can do that. I want to do that. And if you're saying I want to do that, you can oils. I'm choking.
No, you're good. So what people are doing when they're watching you is they're
I want to teach and educate.
Yes, there you go. Teach and educate, and at the same time earning an income. Okay, do number 3. Go.
The third type of person is someone who is watching me and thinking, I can do that. I want to do that. And if you're saying I want to do that, then you want to teach and you want to educate people about the oils, the power of the essential oils. This can help supplement or be a residual income for you. So, and you can become financially free. So if you are 1 or 2, please come to me at the end of class, and I'd love to continue the conversation with you.
That was perfect. At the very end, it's a 2 or a 3 that finds you at the end of the class, right?
Right.
You killed it. Oh my gosh.
I don't know that.
That was so good. That you just did that whole big thing on your own, only hearing it 3 times. I need one more volunteer. Okay, Anne, it's on you.
I'll try it. I'll do it. Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm going to share with you 3 types of people that typically come to my class. And as you listen to each of these, then I want you to put either 1, 2, or 3 on the top of your sheet. Now, the first type of person is somebody who likes to use the oils. It's easier said than done.
Yeah.
Somebody that likes to use the oils, and so you want to put a 1 at the top of your sheet.
So think of user, right? User is at 1, but you got it. Somebody who uses the oil.
So you want to use the oils. Oh, yeah. Okay. So if you like to use the oils and you know it's something that you want in your life and want to share it and make your family and your life more healthy, then this would be your option, and put one at the top of your sheet.
Perfect.
The second type of person that comes says that, gee, my sister or my mother should have been here, or my dog walker should have been here because, you know, they mentioned something about an ailment, and I know that the oils can help with that. And I want to share the oils with these people. And if you're one of these type of people, then using the oils and sharing the oils consistently can help to help you to get your oils at free. And you know what they kind of call that is free healthcare.
You got it. Keep going.
So if that's what you are and you want to share with people and get some free healthcare, then I would just put a 2 at the top of your sheet.
Who doesn't want free healthcare, right?
Exactly. Who doesn't want free healthcare? And the third type of person that comes to my class is somebody that says, I can do what you do and I want to do what you do and share these oils with my friends and family and everyone I know. And if you want to do this, then this is where you can become, start to become financially free and start to earn a residual income. So if you are this type of person, then put a 3 at the top of your sheet. Now, for the 2s and 3s in the room, please come see me at the end of the class and we can get you started.
That was awesome, Anne. Oh my gosh. And what's really cool is you reversed a couple things, but it works. So it totally, you can make it your own as long as you keep those specific words in each part. It doesn't matter which order. If you forget to say supplemental and residual, just fill it in. It's perfect.
Thank you.
Good job. That was awesome. Okay, so guys, I want you to write down homework assignment number 1 right now. Is you're all going to record yourself on your phone, a video of you saying this, and you have to post it to the group because I'm going to watch them all.
Real quick, when do you want us to do that by?
By the day before next call. Next
Tuesday. We get a whole week. Okay. And then 2, can you also go over those 3-point bulletins so quick that Josie said? I kind of missed 1 and I wanted to make sure I had 3. I love that, and that will help me. Do you mind?
Hey, you guys.
Yeah, go ahead.
Haley, how about what I could do for everyone is, people's might be slightly different, but I will post on the group my version of my bullet points of this script, because this is a really long script. And this is how when you have a script, it's like you're going to be standing up in front of people without the script, right? You really have to learn it and make it your own. And that process, first you just read it many, many, many times, and then you practice it like this. You make mistakes. You realize the kind of places that your mind forgets and skips. And that tends to be the same place. And so for me, that's how I do it. I practice it, and then I see where there's certain words that I get stuck on, and I call those transition words. And it's like they're the same places a lot of the time, over and over and over again. So those become my bullet points. And so that can be different for people, but I will post my bullet points for this script about and that becomes then, you can fill in your different examples. Like maybe for me, I see it's my mom and my sister, my best friend. Maybe for someone else, they're saying it's their mailman or their dog walker, right? That's the fun stuff. That's the you making your own and some of those little tweaks. But there's certain things like the free healthcare and things like that you don't want to forget. And so those are those bullet point pieces. And then basically once I'm familiar with the script, that little outline is what I study and go over before the class. And it's like, remember. And so when I'm sitting there, and sometimes it'll happen, you're in front of the group and you kind of blank out, your brain can go to those few words usually if you've studied it. Is that good, Haley? Do you want me to do that to post the?
That would be great. Yeah, that would be wonderful.
Okay.
Yeah. And if it's helpful for some people and you use it, go for it. And if not, leave it out. Okay. So homework assignment number 1 is you're going to record yourself on video doing this. It's a good tip. Hold your phone up at this angle. If you hold it down here, you're going to catch all the chins. Hold it up here. It's a good angle. And then you're going to post it to the group. I'm going to watch them all. I'm going to give you guys all feedback. So make sure that's posted by Tuesday next week. You reading this script. If you want to read it straight off the sheet, you can. If you want to practice it a bunch before you record it, you can do that too. Just post it, whichever one you feel the most comfortable with. Okay. Now,
hey, Haley, I just want to hop on real quick.
Please do.
What I love about the way that we're doing this is that, you know, you can read through the script and go, oh, that's really easy. I got it. Right? Has everyone thought that? Like, why are we doing this? This is so simple. But you go to see as somebody actually tries to say it without the script, you can begin to stumble through it. And these are transitions where people tend to get nervous when they're presenting about sharing about the business opportunity. And so what happens oftentimes is people don't share, and then they wonder why builders aren't showing up. So as Ariana noted, as we've talked about, read it, make it your own, practice saying it. So when you're in a class, it will just roll off your tongue naturally, and you can put some of your own words to it and make it your own. But that is why we're kind of going through this and really reinforcing it, so it just really becomes supernatural for you.
And I'd say one more thing, thanks, is I have those bullet points, but when you're reading the script and you make your own, make sure you really understand what's being said in the script. Like, what are the salient points of the script? So that if you get up there and you forget those words, those transition words, you know, like doTERRA rewards, that one sentence was the one sentence I think I got caught up on the most in the number 2. And I couldn't remember it. And you know what, it's fine. But I remembered the concept. So you want that whole right brain concept of what are you trying to really say about the number 2 person that they're sharing, and what happens when you're a sharer. You get your oils paid for. And how are we telling them this? We're not saying you get your oils paid for. We're telling them they get their free healthcare because basically they're getting this reward from doTERRA. So that's the concept. So once you understand that, you might get caught up in forgetting the specific word in a class, and that's fine. That's how you learn. But it's, you know, it's making sure you understand why you're saying what you're saying.
And one last thing that I wanted to add too is I posted it on the side notes, but sometimes we say, okay, I'm going to go home and I'm going to block out a half an hour to practice that, right? And then life happens, and sometimes we don't do that. So make this a practice. You can do it when you're driving. You can do it when you're making food and dinner. So that's what I do, is I just start saying it out loud. You know, if you get shy at first, a car is a great place because maybe no one's in your car and you're just practicing it and you say it over and over like you're teaching. And then if you can't remember a scripting word, or after you do that in the car, you can come home and read it and say, oh, geez, I forgot that one line, or I forgot the healthcare part, and you can kind of go over it. But if you the more you say it out loud, the more it's going to roll off your tongue so easily. If you just read it and you think you're going to remember it and you do it 1 or 2 times, it's going to feel scripted. So that's a great practice point too.
Perfect. Thank you guys for all contributing that. And what's really cool, this is why you're recording it on your phone. What do you do with a recording on your phone? You can listen to it. Anytime you're in your car, when you're driving right before a class, you're going to have this recorded so that you can check back in with it. And you'll pull out little things that you want to tweak, or you want to change, or you want to make better. And you just get really good at it. And it's just like your usually script. It just comes out of your mouth and you don't even know that it's coming out. It's just naturally ingrained in your brain at that point. So this is a great way to present users, sharers, people who are interested in the business opportunity. And it seriously works. Because people aren't thinking, scary business opportunity. They're like, yeah, I want to share this with people. Yeah, I want to teach this. That's all it is. And that's what the business looks like. So we're just keeping people from getting scared. And it's so fun to share this. Even if you stumble over it, it's totally fine. They don't know you're stumbling. They've never heard it before. You're the only one who knows this information. So get out there on that limb. I love all of you guys sharing. Okay, so now we're going to continue going through your class. Okay, so what do you think the next question is after you just presented this? 3 types of people. Your next question is, Who wants to know how to get oils? Because now that they've heard it, went through the whole class, they've now heard all the class sheet, they've heard the literature speech, you now told them about the business. Okay, you guys, who wants to know how to get oils? And we're going to go into our close, and I'm going to give you the script for the close, which I hope some of you have got that document. And I'm going to say it for you guys real quick. Okay, so who wants to know how to get oils? Everybody, I hope, because you'd be crazy if you didn't want to know. Okay, first way. First way to get oils is retail. Okay? None of you here are going to buy retail. The only time you should purchase retail is at a doctor's office or a high-end spa, and end it there. We already told them you're not buying retail. Friends don't let friends buy retail. Okay? The second way is standard wholesale, just like a Costco membership. You pay a membership fee for the year. You get wholesale prices every time you make a purchase. And the third way is below wholesale. This is the smartest way, and it is the only way that I buy my oils. So when I come around individually at the end, I'm going to tell you how to do that. So I want to tell you guys about two of my favorite kits. And when you start with a kit, not only do you waive that membership fee I just talked about, but you get something designed to target most of your basic health concerns. Okay? So if you already have been thinking, this is also right here. Write a little bullet out off of your thing where it says talk about two top favorites. So I want to share with you some of the most popular kits and some of my favorites. This is where you pass around your kit sheet if they're separate. So I know the share guide has it already in there, but if you're teaching off of Edge or any other class sheet, this is where you're going to pass out your kit sheet and enrollment form. So you can write that off to the side if you need a specific bullet of how that looks. Kit sheet and enrollment form come out right there. And a lot of us, you only want to present 2 kits. So we know we're working in pairs of 2, right? 2 times for scheduling, 2 kits, that's it. Whether you give them a whole kit sheet, and there's a lot of them on there, only talk about 2. Or you can print your own modified version of a kit sheet that just has your 2 on there, and that's all that they can look at. So either way works, but only talk about 2. Confused minds don't get anything. So we don't want to tell them there's a million kits, just 2. Okay, so I want to have, go ahead, Joe.
Haley, that was a lot. I'm trying to write down your whole thing too. Can you go back to, you just finished the script below wholesale. Can you kind of go through your talking? I'm writing down your talking points about when I come around at the end, I'll tell you about that from below wholesale, right? So start there.
Yep. And I also, in your closed document that you guys have accessed, I put all this in there for you also.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So everything that I'm saying is on your paper.
Okay. I'm still taking it.
So you can handwrite it if you want to, but I'll say it again. So I'm going to tell you about how to get below wholesale when I come around individually. Okay, so I want to share with you guys some of the most popular kits and 2 of my favorites. Here's where you pass around your enrollment sheet, kit sheets together. They go around the room. Okay, so what's amazing about starting with an enrollment kit or a starter package is not only are you going to waive your that I just mentioned, but you're also going to get started with something designed to target most of your basic health concerns. So we're saying this is what you want. This is going to target a lot of the things that you're struggling with. Okay, so then you're going to say, some of you might already have picked out, because right here I've already talked about my 2 top favorite kits. So I'm not elaborating here because I don't know what you guys want to share in your kits, but you can just share your most favorite things out of 2 kits. So after I've said, when you start with one of these basic starter packages, you're targeting most of your basic health concerns. You're then going to say, okay, so 2 of my favorites. Check out your sheet right here. Natural Solutions or Home Essentials, or Home Essentials and Family Essentials, whichever your 2. So if I'm talking about a Home Essentials kit and a Family Essentials, as we learned in a one-on-one, that's what you're presenting. It's just the difference between big bottles and little bottles. One's $150, one's $275 and comes with a diffuser. This has 80 drops. This has 250. So some of you are already thinking you know which one you want. I'm going to invite you to start filling out that enrollment form that I just passed out with this, to start filling it out. And then I'm going to come around individually and I'm going to help each of you identify what's going to be the best for your life. So if you know what you want, get started. If not, I'm going to come around individually and help you. Those of you who are waiting for me to get to you, guess what you get to do? Look at that rad book that I showed you. You now are going to get to find and look up those health goals and concerns that you wrote on your back of your sheet. And so we can talk about that when I get to you. So now people are kind of excited for a chance to look at that versus, oh, now I have to wait for her to get to me. Pump it up, get it exciting. Because whatever you make exciting, people get excited about. So I want somebody to volunteer to read me the close.
Wait, I have a quick question.
Yeah, Karen, go for it.
So I don't think you went over this, but the books. So at that point, is that the point where you pass out the books?
No, I pass out the books at the very end.
Okay. I mean, when you're saying now you get an opportunity to go ahead and look at the books while you're waiting, that's when you pass them out.
Exactly.
Okay.
Because if you pass it out before that, people are going to stop listening to you at the close.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Who's my volunteer? Suzanne, can you do it? Oh, she's muted.
I want to try and do it without the script.
What? Right out the gate? Oh my gosh, here she goes, you guys. Let's hear it.
We'll see what happens, right?
Okay.
So there are 3 ways to purchase your oils. The first is retail. No one in this room is going to purchase retail. That's for doctor's offices or going to the spa. We're not going to do that. Second is wholesale. So similar to a Costco membership, you pay an annual membership fee. You get to shop as often or as little as you want, but you buy it wholesale. So you're always getting a discount. The third way, and the only way that I purchase oils, is below wholesale. And when I come around individually, I'll have a chance to share more with you about that. So now I want to show you 2 of the most popular kits so that you can get started. And the benefit of the kits are, first of all, it includes that membership fee. So you're already getting an annual membership. Secondly, it's a selection of oils that are going to be targeted for your healthcare needs. So you're going to get started. Oh God, how do I want to say this? I just kind of lost it.
That's okay. Okay, so now I'm going to tell you guys about 2 of my favorite kits. Go.
Okay. So now I'm going to tell you guys about 2 of my favorite kits and 2 of the most popular kits to get started. And do you want me to actually talk about those 2 kits or just generically go into it?
Just generically.
Okay. So when you get started with a kit, you not only get your annual membership included for access to buy at wholesale, but you also get a selection of oils that are targeted for your particular health needs, so you can support your health concerns immediately. And then I forget what to say after that. Hold on, I gotta look.
Okay. This is your phone a friend.
Exactly. Okay, so if you already know, I'm going to invite. Okay. If you already know what you want, I'm going to invite you to begin filling out the form that I've handed out. I'll come around individually and we'll talk about what your needs are and what best fits for you. Something like that.
Beautiful. And then you can just instruct the people who you're not coming to right away.
Sorry.
Yep.
Yeah. To look at the awesome reference book that I have in front of you so that you can get a better understanding of how essential oils can support your particular health goals.
Yeah, perfect. That was great. You got it. Amazing. And so I did put a note at the bottom of your guys' sheet. If you have somebody helping you, this is a big group, I might say, and so while I come around and help everybody, Suzanne's also going to come around and help you. So if you have any questions at that point, she is amazing and so you want to edify that person you're with so it doesn't just seem like the creepy person who's just showing up at the end to help. They're like, who are you? So you want to make sure that you do that. I would love to hear from Gina. I think you're still muted, sweetie.
Okay.
Okay, let's hear it.
So Okay, do you all want to know how to get your oils? The 3 ways to purchase oils. The first is retail, and no one is going to purchase retail. The only time you should would be at a spa or a healthcare clinic. The second way is wholesale, and it's kind of like having a Costco card. You basically pay a membership fee, and then you can shop anytime and receive wholesale prices. The third time is below wholesale, and this is the only way that I purchase my oils. And I'll tell you a little bit how to get below wholesale when I come around individually.
I'm going to pause you for 1 second.
Sure.
I just want to make sure on below wholesale, you always say the only way and the smartest way.
Only and smartest. Okay.
Yes. Okay. I'm going to have you do it one more time from the top.
All right.
Okay.
So, do you all want to know how to get your oils? Yes. There are 3 ways to purchase the oils. The first is retail. None of you are going to purchase retail today. The only time you should purchase retail is if you're at a doctor's office or a spa. The second way is wholesale. It's like having a Costco card, and you just pay a membership fee for the year, and you're able to purchase as little or as much as you want for the year. The smartest way, and the only way, is the way that I buy my oils, and I'm going to tell you a little bit how to do that, and that is below wholesale, and I will work with you individually to let you know about that opportunity. A little off script, but whatever.
That was perfect. I want you to do below wholesale one more time. So the third way,
and the only way to purchase oils is below wholesale. It is the smartest and only way that I buy my oils. I'll tell you a little bit about how to do that when I meet with you individually. So I want to share with you 2 of my favorite kits. The first one is the Family Essentials Kits. It's $150, and you get your membership fee waived. And it comes with peppermint beadlets and On Guard beadlets for free. The second one, which is the one that I really like, is the Family's Essential Kits that comes with the diffuser, because diffusers are amazing, and we can talk about that a little bit later if you have more questions about it. So if you know which one you would like to purchase, go ahead and get started filling out your enrollment forms. And then I'm supposed to mention, and I have, in this case, I will have Nicole with me, and she could be going around and meeting with you individually, and you guys can look at this book together. If you don't know what you or which direction you are going, and maybe you guys can discuss your particular health goals and find out which kit is right for you. Ta-da.
Perfect. That was so unmute button. That was awesome. Oh my gosh. Way to go.
Yeah, scary.
But
okay. I'm glad I did that.
That below wholesale script is, everybody's like, I want that.
Yeah.
Wait, there's wholesale and there's below wholesale? That's what I want. I want that. And we just said it's the smartest way. So who doesn't want to get it the smartest way? And we just said retail's not an option. If you want retail, get out. Don't say that. I want one more. Claudia, yeah. You'll have to just unmute yourself real quick.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, totally.
Okay, great.
Go for it.
Okay, I can't be the superstar without my paper, but I'm going to go for it anyway.
Do it. You got it.
Okay, so do y'all want to know how to get your oils? There are 3 ways to purchase the oils. The first way is retail, and none of you here tonight are going to purchase retail. The only time you should purchase retail is at a doctor's office or a high-end spa. The second way to purchase is wholesale. It's kind of like having a Costco card. You pay a membership fee for the year, and you get wholesale prices every time you purchase products with doTERRA. The third way to purchase oils is below wholesale. It's the smartest way and the only way I buy my oils. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about how to get below wholesale when I come around and see you individually. Okay, so I want to share with you some of the most popular kits. I printed off 2 ones that I like the most, both the Family Essentials and the Home Essentials kit. And for those of you who want the diffuser, I really recommend the Home Essentials. You get the bigger bottles, and then you're all set for this cold and flu season that's coming up. when you start with one of the basic starter packages, not only do they waive these when we do the kits, not only do they waive the membership fee, but you get all the oils that you need for your top health concerns. If you already know what you want, I invite you to start filling out your sheets. And if you're not sure yet, I'm going to come around individually and help you out. And if I have an assistant, Vanna, the lovely Vanna, will be coming around to help as well. And we'll answer all your questions.
That was awesome. Way to go. That was really good. And the more you hear it, are you guys noticing that you just heard somebody say it 3 different times and now you're kind of putting it together, it's sticking in your brain?
Yeah.
Okay, so I want you guys to write down number 2 homework assignment. You're going to do this exact same script, video record it, and also post it. And there's a good question in the chat. Aish, do you want to speak to that if you can?
Yes, I was just looking at that, and Josie and Haley, you can also pipe in on this one. I think that you definitely have to always know who your audience is and just adjust things accordingly. So if you are selling to a spa specifically, or if you're teaching classes at the spa, I think it just depends on the relationship and the circumstances there, and then I would adjust. So yeah, I mean, that's just kind of my first and initial answer, is just to, make those adjustments as you need to, given your audience.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah. If you're teaching at a doctor's office or a spa, obviously, I think you have an agreement with them that they might be selling it on the shelves, but they've seen the value of also having wholesale accounts for their customers. Even that's the case in yoga studios, spas, and doctor's offices. Even when certain customers have wholesale accounts, there's still plenty of people who want to buy retail. So it might change how you say that, but yeah, you discuss it with the owner at first and just keep the cup here. But I might say something like, retail is for when you've forgotten your oils at home and you're right here, and like you need some peppermint or past tense or On Guard, and you need to buy it right away, or your friend doesn't have an account yet and they want some. But for your whole family and yourself's healthcare, of course you want to be getting below wholesale, right? Wholesale and below wholesale. So I could go right into that and go into those two, something like that.
I also think that if you are actually signing up wellness advocates for the actual spa, it is still to the spa's benefit to enroll them as a wellness advocate. So again, this is going to depend a little bit on the circumstances, and, mimicking what Josie said, you could point out if you just need to grab a quick item because you've ran out, you can grab it at the spa. Or if you're not ready to jump in, you just want to try one item, you can buy it retail. But again, the best way, the most intelligent way, the smartest way to really support your family and their wellness and their health is to get a wholesale account. So, you can say when you're going to do that, and then really emphasize the value of why they want to get the wellness account. And that's actually going to be a win-win for the spa. And ultimately, the bigger win is going to be having them sign up as a wellness advocate than buying one bottle of oil off the shelf.
And one last point on that is that this is a separate conversation from the class, but whether it's a doctor or spa, I would encourage a point person. So if that doctor doesn't have time to sign people up with an account, that's what we'll do on my team. They have a point person that they refer them to. So it's a very simple, easy process to open up that wholesale account. And again, you would have a conversation with the owner prior to the classes and propose that would really be a way better business opportunity for the spa owner or the doctor.
Perfect. Thank you all for contributing to that. I hope that answers your question, Gina. Okay, so now you guys have given them the clothes. You have half of the rooms looking at books and reference materials. They're filling out or looking up for their health goals and concerns. The other half are filling out forms. You're now going to go over and start helping people individually. So I really want to paint this picture for you. When you go around to the room, you never want to stand over people, tower over people. You want to get down to their level. So you're going to perfect the kneel. You're going to literally kneel down on one knee right in front of them. If you have a bad knee and you can't do it, sit next to them. That's fine. But get down to their level. And here's your question. I printed it for you on your enrollment script. That's the next sheet we're going off of. If you don't have that, you can just write the question down. And I hope you know what the question is from your one-on-one. What are we working on? Right? That's your question. Same question we ask in a one-on-one. What are we working on? So they might tell you, I'm working on digestion, I'm working on all these things. This is where, just like in your one-on-one, you're either going to make a recommendation for a kit if you feel comfortable, or you're going to guide them at looking at the kits. Okay, so you have a book, empower them, even if you have the answer. So if they say, I'm really struggling with digestive support, and you know that it's DigestZen, you might say, well, why don't we look that up together in the book? Because they're going to then know, oh, I could do that on my own at my house. This is easy. I totally want to get oils. I have this amazing resource I can connect to. Here's also another really good way to get them interacting. Let's say they say sleep, and you talked about lavender in your class. I'm really struggling with sleep. You might say, yeah, sleep is a really common one. What do you think was one of the oils we've talked about tonight that might help you with your sleep? So get them to relate it back to the class material that you just presented. And now they're thinking about all those other oils that you also presented in the class and how it can benefit them. They say it's immune system support. They're always getting sick. Yeah, there was an oil that I touched on tonight that was really great for your immune system. Do you remember which one it was? Maybe help them here. Okay. They're like, oh yeah, it's On Guard, obviously. Okay. So if you can get them just like in a one-on-one talking about at least 5 oils that they need, 5 individual oils is the same as getting a kit. So even if they say, I just want to get those 5 oils, it's just like in your one-on-one when you say, well, let's break down that price. And for this amount, you actually get the kit and that whole membership fee is waived, right? So you're basically supporting them just like you do in a one-on-one at this very end part, making a recommendation for a kit or helping them fill out that form because they already know the kit that they want.
I want to just interject a little tip here. If you can get somebody to give you the answer, one thing that happens when people come to class is they feel a little overwhelmed. When somebody's confused, they're not going to buy. So a confused mind isn't going to buy. So that's one of the reasons why we want to keep it super simple. But if you can have them give you back the answer, they are more likely to remember that when they go home than if you tell them what the answer is. So as simple as it seems to say, oh, I just told you about On Guard, you're going to get On Guard. When they go home, they've heard about all these oils. They might not have any idea once they get home and forget. But if you simply ask them, what was that oil that we talked about? Do you remember? And they tell you back, it is more likely they are going to retain that. So it's a simple but powerful tip. And you might even feel foolish asking that question because you think it's obvious. But remember, a lot of people are being exposed to all of these for the very first time. And I know that when I first was exposed to these oils, I thought, what am I going to do with all these and how am I ever going to learn how to use them? So you got to go back to how it was for us when we were first getting exposed and we had no idea what we were going to do with all those oils or what oil to use for anything. So back to you, Haley.
That was great. Yes. So do that. Also, I want to remind you again, this is just a reminder, just like in a one-on-one, when somebody says, sleep, I'm struggling with sleep, resist the urge to say, well, it's lavender. I use lavender for sleep and my kids use it for sleep and my friends use it for sleep. Remember, this isn't about you. This is 100% about them. So just like in a one-on-one, it's the same for a class. Take a deep breath and don't talk about yourself. Shut it down. So make sure that you're focusing on them, okay? So once you have them filling out that enrollment form, okay, so we want to make sure we schedule a follow-up or wellness consultation or wish list appointment, whatever you want to call it. You want to schedule this at your class when they've enrolled. not I'll call you to set it up, because you don't want to be a stalker trying to stalk them and hunt them down. You want to make sure that you're scheduling it now. And this is because we're going to get them on LRP at that follow-up. Some of you might get them on LRP right away, but then you also have that little pressure. You got to make sure you get a hold of them before that next order processes, right? But if you schedule it right away at a class, you know that within the next 10 to 14 days, you're going to get them on LRP. So I'm going to give you the scripts for that. Because what is LRP? You guys putting these dots together? Below wholesale equals LRP. Everybody wants to get their oils below wholesale. When you're getting your shipping back and you're getting free product credits back, you're getting it for below wholesale. And you're getting free healthcare. Yes, Aisha. So when you say to them, after they start enrolling, this is what I want you guys to say, and I'm going to share this in the group also. I will post these scripts for you. Because you are investing in yourself, I'm going to invest in you. So when you become a part of my team, I actually offer a free wellness consultation where I get to show you how to use all of these products you just purchased for you and your family. So I'm going to help you create a daily routine based on your lifestyle so you feel totally comfortable incorporating into your life. So I'll also help you place future orders and get those oils at below wholesale like we talked about. Why don't we set that up now? And they're like, yeah, it's a free wellness consultation or a free follow-up or another one-to-one right with you, intimate time, and you're going to tell me how to use all this stuff. So we want to schedule it right there so that at our follow-up, which we learn next week, everybody gets on LRP, every single person, because we're showing them how to use their products, how to place future orders, and how to get everything at below wholesale, which equals LRP. So you want to always make sure, because you're investing in yourself, I am going to invest in you. And that is one of your biggest things that you're going to use. But I'll post that whole script for you. So we really want them to know we're going to help them. Now, I want to make sure if you guys are doing this with a leader or with a person and you're both there and you're helping them do the class, you're going to say, when you enroll with Mika, she offers an amazing wellness consultation. And because you're investing in yourself, she's going to invest in you. So you edify that same person that you're supporting. So you're not always going to be talking about yourself if you're helping them. So I want you to remember one other tip at a class. If you guys are doing the talking, you're shadowing a leader at the back of the room, and you keep adding in stuff, you're going to be the one doing all the work. If you're the one talking all the time, you're doing those wellness consultations, you're doing those follow-ups, you're doing those other conversations, because people are now attracted to you. You have to resist the urge to undermine. Let them go. Let your leaders say what they're going to say. If they forget stuff, they forget stuff. It's okay. Don't micromanage. Let them go. It's really hard. Like Tiffin will take a drink of water, she says, to keep from saying anything. I have to take a deep breath. It's okay if they forget stuff. Just let it happen. You want to say something nice?
The other thing that happens is when we interrupt, it can throw somebody out of their flow. And if they're already a little bit nervous, it can actually start adding to the anxiety, because then they're starting to think, oh, I'm not doing this right. So it really is best to let somebody just learn and exactly take your drink of water and stand in the background and let somebody else be the star.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so I printed that script for you guys, or I posted it for you guys so that you can print it. Okay, so now we've gone through basically the whole class. They're now enrolling at the end, right? And you've scheduled your follow-up. You're going to make an announcement, or you're going to, as you're going around individually. So you have a 2 or a 3 on your sheet. Don't forget to come and find me, right? Or you might say, okay, so for those of you, some of you are filling out your stuff. For those of you who are a 2 or a 3, make sure you come and talk to me, because I would love to tell you how that works. So when people come and find you at the end of the class, I'm just going to real quick give you a couple of scripts that I'll also post. But you want to have something that you can tell them. So if they come to you and say, well, I wrote a 2 or a 3 on my paper, I'm really interested in learning more about that. What is that? This isn't where you fire hose them with the compensation plan and you tell them all about doTERRA and how you can get paid a million different ways and what that looks like and your power of 3 and all that stuff. They're already going to think, well, never mind, actually. I'm just going to get my oils and I'm out. We want to give them a trailer so that they want to watch the movie, okay? So you want to just give them a little taste of what that is so that they want to schedule a business overview with you. So go with me on this. Josie has so beautifully coined the unicorn phrase, so I'm just going to share it. Okay, so she basically says somebody comes up to you at the end of the class and they're like, I wrote a 2 or a 3. I'm super interested in that. What is that? doTERRA is basically the unicorn of network marketing. Okay, so that's what Josie says. You guys can make it your own. doTERRA is the complete package, whatever you want to say. You've just experienced the amazing benefits of the product, so you know that they work. doTERRA's compensation plan is completely unmatched, unlike anything else. And the integrity of the owners is not something you find in any other company. They do not allow any other outside investors to come in and influence their purity and potency, so you're always going to get what you're going to get. And so it's really rare to find those 3 things in one company. So who wants to know more about that? And every single person is now on the edge of their seat, like, obviously, I want to know more. Okay, are you guys, this is going to blow your mind when I tell you what I say after this. Ready? What I usually do is I schedule a 30-minute appointment. We go over your income goals. I'll tell you a little bit about how doTERRA works, and then I'll tell you how to get started if you're interested. Of course, there's no commitment, but I will absolutely help you. Would that be something you're interested in? Yes. Okay, here's my 2 times. Now you've scheduled a business overview, which we learn in the next couple weeks. So it's the exact same script as your one-on-one script, except we swap out health goals and concerns for income goals. We swap out a little bit about the company for how doTERRA works in their compensation plan. And we swap out the most popular kits with how to get started in the training process. The exact same script, just reframed. So you can't forget it. And I'm going to also post that for you. So now you know how to schedule a business overview off of every single class. And if for some reason, like I said, you are in a follow-up appointment or any of those things, and you didn't get a chance, they left out early, you didn't get a chance to ask them if they were a 2 or a 3, that's where you ask it there. And then we're also going to get a business overview scheduled off of that. And so we know there's a question in the chat that I'm just going to touch on real quick about business overviews after the class. Do not do a business overview after a class. It's so much information. You will always want to do it separate, never together. I would say there's a very rare exception for somebody very specific who wants both of those things at the same time. Always schedule it separate. Fresh brain, fresh information. And then so what Elise does, go ahead, Joe.
You want me to come in?
Yep.
So Dina, I think you might have misinterpreted. Elise doesn't do a full business overview after a class. It's like a trailer, it's like for a movie preview or a movie trailer. So,
okay.
Yeah, you're inviting people to in your class with your peppermint brownies.
Yeah, okay.
It's the carrot dangle. It's to get them interested enough and wanting to then have a real business overview with you. So Haley, I love what Haley just did because that's way more succinct. Elise said it could be 10 to 15 minutes. It could be go into more detail. She goes into more detail, but I don't know that we need to. But the concept is that it's the trailer. Mm-hmm.
Are there scripts for the trailer?
No.
Okay.
I'm going to post the trailer that I just gave you.
Yeah. We have Haley's script, and you can embellish it if you want or not. But no, Elise did not give us specific scripts.
Gotcha.
Great. And then Asha, that's great too. I usually save that for when I actually meet with them. Asha says when you say the founders have integrity, she adds about the environment and farmers who grow the plants. Super valuable stuff. So I give them a taste of it so that when they do come to the business overview, I can say, so when I told you the integrity of this company is a standalone quality, what I mean by that is they care deeply about the environment and the farmers who grow the plants. So it's amazing. And so now you've piqued their interest and curiosity a second time once you have them in person for your business overview, if that makes sense. So you just want to really limit the information because those movie trailers, let me put it in perspective, where you see almost the whole movie where you can put the whole thing together in the trailer. So you're like, I don't really have to go to the movies. They just told me everything in the trailer. So you want to just have a little piece, just enough to dangle the carrot that they're interested in coming and learning more. And that's where we'll give them more information. Because remember, they have a lot of information they just received in that class. And so we want to keep it real simple. So you guys, that's actually your whole class. How you teach an amazing class and schedule a business overview off of that. So I am going to, for you, remember your homework assignment, the 2 that I already gave you, is to video both of those scripts, the business opportunity and the close, and post it. And I also, you guys are going to schedule 3 classes before the end of this month, 3 of them. They can take place later, but you need to schedule at least 3. And I want you to schedule at least 3 wellness consultations or follow-up appointments. Because you've already been scheduling your one-to-ones, so I'm hoping that those people are enrolling and you're scheduling follow-up appointments, because next week we're going to learn how to do that.
Haley?
Yep.
I'm receiving on the side some anxiety regarding the timeliness of you posting those the scripts that they haven't posted yet for the people who are in the field, like teaching today and tomorrow.
Perfect.
And I mean, I'm not pushing, but I'm just saying.
Yeah. So I have all.
Of course, people want it now.
Perfect. So the 3 scripts that we worked through today are posted, and the general ones I just went over on the trailer and the wellness consultation and business convo, I'll post those right now after I get off the call.
Oh, great. I know. So that's awesome. It shows you how great they are, because people are like, when are they going to be posted?
I'm panicking. So does anybody have any questions they want to ask? Or
I do.
Okay. Yeah, go for it.
So I am one of the people that typically will have an incentive of one of the resource books.
Mm-hmm.
When is the best time to bring up that incentive? Is it something we should touch on at the beginning of the class and then follow up once we talk about enrollment kits, or when do you suggest highlighting that?
Great question. I do it when I'm talking about the kits, where I say, not only do you waive your membership fee and get your prepackaged to target everything, but guess what? I'm going to give you one of these books.
Okay. Yeah, perfect. Okay.
So however you say it, that's where I offer it, because it kind of goes hand in hand with that.
Okay,
and
perfect.
Just to add a little note, I say it's kind of a thing to incentivize them to buy right now. Like, you will get this free book if you sign up with a kit in this class tonight.
Perfect. Brilliant.
And then one other thing is we may be talking about this in the future. So if we are, just push the question aside. But when we offer incentives for booking a class.
Oh, great question.
Off of a class.
What do you do here, Aish or Josie?
I'm sorry, you're asking what do I do to offer incentives for booking a class?
Yeah, I didn't know if we were going to be talking about that in the future, or if that's something that you talk about during the class.
I can say.
Go ahead, Jess.
Yeah, this has been something that for me traditionally has been I hadn't always done, or awkward. I didn't feel like I had a good system around it, and so I think we're all developing. But I can say from Elise Sedovy, from the people who just were with her in July, what she does is pretty much waits to the end, and she uses the keychain, and she has the keychain filled out or filled up with oils, and she just starts, like, while they're working around, she waits till the end, so it's really not really within the class, and it's at the end, and she just starts twirling it. And she says, "Who wants one of these?" So, I mean, Haley, we can incorporate this. I'll get it. Louise just brought this back. And so I have to look exactly at the notes, but she kind of twirls it, and she opens it up, and it's so cute. You know, and first time you see the little bottles with the stickers on them, we all wanted it right away. It's true. And so she goes, "Who wants one of these?" So for those of you who want to start sharing right away and have a class and host a class, you get to walk away, and she will have them. And I'll have to look up details on how she does it with, I know there's the 2 oils, I know it. They walk away with the thing, but they don't get they don't get the bottles yet. And for every, you can decide if it's 3 people, 5 people that you bring to a class, you get an oil filled up by her, the person teaching the class. So the way you incentivize people to have more people present is you're incentivizing them. You're saying, yeah, for the first 3 people who come to the class, I'm going to fill up 1 bottle. And for every 2 people after that, I fill up, and you get to choose from my kit, fill up the bottles.
All right.
Perfect.
Thanks.
So at the end, hope that was helpful. Thanks, Jess. So you guys have to perfect not only the kneel, but the twirl. Hope you get both of those. Anybody else have a question?
I do.
Yeah.
Do you use the drawing entry anymore? I mean, I know you get the 3 health concerns written on the back of the tear sheet, but the drawings let you take home a bunch of information about the person, and you can follow up from that. But you didn't mention it, and I just thought I'd ask because I've been a part of it where we have used the drawings, the little drop your name in, your 3 top health concerns, 3 wellness goals. But you didn't mention it. Do you ever use those?
I think it's personal to you if you want to do a drawing. I do a sign-up sheet at the beginning, though.
Okay.
So I pass that around so I have everybody's contact. But if you want to do a raffle or a drawing, I think it really is up to you and what your audience is.
Okay.
Did anybody else? Ice, did you?
Yeah, I personally love the drawing. I think it's a great way to get a more well-rounded idea of somebody's interests. So when I do the drawing, I have the questions: are you interested in weight loss, emotional well-being, kind of go through the different topics. You can also ask them there, would you be interested in teaching a class? Because sometimes that might not come out in the class. And then if, we have a monthly event that pertains to that topic, you can go back and go, oh, so-and-so is interested in weight loss or cleanse or whatever. And you can invite them. And, or also when you do your wellness consult, you can explore some of those topics further. So I think it's a great way to gather more information.
Yes, perfect.
And I'm going to say as people get more classes under their belt and more comfortable, Emerge and Elise Sedavi herself, she doesn't use a tear pad. Either does Emerge now. It's a beginning for people to have something, a guideline, fall back on, but it's so comfortable with that idea of perhaps moving away from a tear pad, then and having a super simple class, the way you've explained it, Haley, that's where the drawings can come in handy, because that actually gives people a place to follow your script, right? Write down their health goals and the stuff. So you use that almost instead of a tear sheet.
Love that.
Does do any of you, Josie, Aisha, Haley, do you always use a tear sheet, or do you have your own maybe sheet that you offer with some bulleted points and areas for them to write on, or how do you do it?
I personally always use a sheet because it's duplicable. When people are sitting out there, they know it's just a sheet and I don't have to recreate something or get it from you or any of that. So I always look at everything that I do is, can it be duplicated in other people? And so I love doing raffles. I still do that sometimes, but my point of saying what other people do is it's not 100% you have to do it. So what I'm giving you is exactly what you need to do to duplicate this as a business and teach other people, and they can put their flair and their spin on their stuff as they see fit, but you don't have to do it that way.
I also think, for so long we have been teaching with tear sheets. And I know that when I started, it was extremely helpful to have that as a reference. Whether or not you talk about every single point on the tear sheet, it gives the person something to write on, something to reference, something to take home. And so I think it can still be a valuable tool. And I think that you can take a general tear sheet, you can apply these concepts, and you can also, say you're actually doing a class more focused on a particular topic, you can spin a tear sheet to cover any kind of topic because it usually just has some of that general information on it. But I think the point is you don't have to get too caught up is it an edge tear sheet, or is it a share tear sheet, or is it a tear sheet I have from a couple years ago? Use what you have and which one you like and what's comfortable for you, as long as at least it has current kit information on it. That's the one thing you want to be mindful of. But I also love that we're teaching you the style that you don't need to buy it. You don't need to have a tear sheet either. So you kind of do what's comfortable for you. And if you use the concept of the class and the concept of these teaching styles, it's just, I think that overall it's going to be a lot more impactful.
And one thing I was going to say about that too is it's a great way to start off people who are, if people are overwhelmed about a cost of starting up this business and you're trying to keep it very simplified, then you can skip the sheet. But there's also very different types of learners. So there's auditory, visual, kinesthetic. And so this is a great tool for those very visual learners who, information-based type of personalities, right, who really like to have facts in front of them. It can also help validate the class a little more. If you have, like I just said, it can be any sheet, but it's just something that someone can leave with since you're getting so much information in one class and they can review. So I found them really helpful in that way too.
That's what I was going to say. Some people are visual and some people are auditory, and the take home is huge. There's something else, but now I can't remember. Yay.
I was going to share. Hi, everybody. I usually teach with the TearPad, but I'm trying out a little bit more of a casual class, which is kind of sitting in a circle and talking about the top 8 oils, kind of like the Emerge, but with a group. And so I'm going to make a little cheat sheet of the top 8 oils, the name big, the little bottle, and just some simple things. So I'm going to make my own thing and I'll post it on the group. Because I think that is a little more communal and a little more sort of feminine. And I think that might work in some of the places I teach, which is in yoga studios quite often.
Love that. Thanks, Asha.
Can I just say a point here? I just feel like people come home, even with the one-on-one, I'll just give them a tear sheet, and I don't follow it, but I let them know, I said, we're going to cover a lot of information here, and this is something for you to refer back to, because there's a lot of little details in there that they're just not going to be able to remember, and so I just make sure they have it, and they can take it home and review everything I talked about.
Love it. And so I want to highlight really fast before we finish up is what's really great about this is you can teach it just how we're teaching it to everyone, and they can do exactly what you're doing, like what Asha's doing. She has all the information she needs, and she can put her own spin on it. And so that's duplicable. And so you can teach somebody else that, and they can choose to do it one-on-one style or a class style, but they have the information for both and can teach it to the next person, and they can do what they will with it. Versus we're doing it our own way, and somebody might not resonate with that one way we're doing it. So you have a system that you can teach to someone else, and they can adopt it and do what they want with it, just like everybody's got their own little flair. I love that beautiful casual class that you're talking about doing, Asha. And so you have that ability to do that, but also still teach somebody who maybe doesn't resonate with that teach style a different way, if that makes any sense. So it's kind of like the skeleton, and you can put the body and everything onto it.
And I just want to remark, you guys, this is so exciting and important because a lot of us leaders who have been through a lot of systems have felt a lot of frustration of changing systems by teams, right? So we learn one system, then it's like, no, we're going to switch over here. And then everybody's like, oh. So just have what you said, Haley, is so awesome to really emphasize that we're doing the same thing. The system's applicable, whether you've been doing this business a long time, whether you're brand new. And it also then again allows people to bring in beautiful personalities and their special zone of genius, right? And we can celebrate that simultaneously. So I have to say this is my very favorite training out of everything I've been in. So you guys are getting such a great gift, especially those of you who are just learning this as your first base. So I just think that's such an important part to highlight.
Thank you so much for adding that. Yes, we love this. We all love sharing this. Aisha and Josie and I are just really grateful that you guys are all with us here. Does anybody else have any last minute thoughts before we hop off, or anything to add? Okay, well then you guys will post the homework assignments. If you don't have, did I hear something?
Yes, I heard 2, 3 things, and then, but my brain, 3 follow-ups, and then what was the first 3 classes or biz? What, something like that?
So Aisha's going to post it for you guys, but it's posting your 2 videos and then scheduling 3 classes and 3 follow-up appointments. And it looks like she's already posted it.
Nice.
She should probably drop the mic and walk out.
Thank you, everyone. You're
Thank
amazing.
you, everybody, for showing up. We'll see you next week.
Woohoo! And we're done an hour early, you guys. So enjoy your day.
Okay.
That's because Haley's teaching.
Yeah.
Bye, you guys.
Bye, everyone. Love you.